Hi traders, and welcome to my video on the Night Hunter Pro EA. This is an expert advisor or trading robot if you prefer, developed to run in the MetaTrader 4, MT4 and MetaTrader 5, MT5 trading platforms. As you can see from the graph here, it is capable of producing good results based on backtesting, whilst it does also have verified live results. And there is a free trial which you can get by using the link in the description below. In this video, I'm just going to run through how the EA works, run some tests on it, and just look at some of the settings. So I'm using the MT4 platform. Okay, strategy tester window here. You can see I have the Night Hunter Pro EA loaded. For the symbol, the developer recommends the pound dollar, euro Swiss franc, US dollar, Canadian dollar, US dollar, Swiss franc, along with some other pairs, including the Swiss franc and the yen, Australian dollar, Canadian dollar, euro Canadian dollar, euro Australian dollar, euro pound, euro yen, and Australian dollar yen. Okay, the recommended time frame is the 5-minute charts, as we've selected here, 5 minutes. For the symbol, first I'll test the EU pair, and we're going to use every tick testing. This is expert advisor that does kind of take into account small price movements, so you want to run it on every tick. For testing purposes, you can run open prices only, which is a lot faster for optimizing especially. However, you'll just want to confirm any settings you do with every tick. Okay, so this is a test that I've already run. This is on the euro for the last 10 years, 5-minute chart, as I said. You can see the results are really impressive. Okay, if we just run, we'll just go to the previous year for the sake of this video. I don't want you sitting there just watching me run tests. So we'll just do the past year. Let's switch over to another recommended pair, which is the dollar Swiss franc. See what the EA can do on this. I'm using the default settings to begin with. Okay, I tend to find that EAs perform best when using the developer's default settings. I mean, they're the ones who would have been using the EA, developing it, testing it for years. So if anyone knows the best settings, it will be them. Okay, the past year on the Swiss franc, not too bad. We go to the pound dollar, run a test on this one. We are using every tick, as I said. Bearing in mind the MT4 strategy tester is limited to 90% modeling quality, unless you're using a third-party software such as Bert's Tick Data Suite, where you can get 99% modeling quality using real tick data. But this is the best we can do using the default strategy tester setup. So the GU, again, not too bad. I think it'd be interesting if we just go to the expert properties here. Okay. You can see here we're using fixed lots at the moment, 0.01. You can actually change that to use risk. So for example, let's use a medium risk. Click OK and then run the test again. So instead of using the fixed lots, this time the EA will use the medium risk. And this way you can do compounding, which basically means that the lot size will increase as the account balance increases, which can, of course, increase profits. And you can see similar graph, but greater profit. And the good thing about this is you have to consider this EA can trade, according to the developer, what they recommend for this night scalper is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, right? So 12 different currency pairs, which is really good when you consider if you were using fixed risk and compounding the lot size in a portfolio of 12 pairs, then obviously the combined performance is going to be a lot better. Okay, so we'll just go to let's try another pair recommended. Try the US dollar, Canadian dollar. Okay. You can see as well some of the trades that the EA is placed here on the on my graph here. One of the things that I think is important to mention is this does not use any martingale or grid strategy, which is good. It means less risk. Okay. Not as many trades, but still a nice upwards graph. You have to consider with scalping, this is a night scalper, so there can often be less trading opportunities just because they look for this sort of ideal trading conditions just to keep the high win rate up. But however, as I said, by combining 12 pairs, we can maximize the potential trading opportunities. So let's just run the EU. We'll run the EU this time. Let's run it from 2020. So the last 4+ years, 4 to 5 years, depending on when you're watching this video. The developers got the up-to-date live verified MyFX book results, which are most important, which you can check. And they've been running for years now with great performance at the time of me making this video. Okay, but you can always check them out, see the latest results and make a judgment there. Back tests, of course, are limited. It's just the way that it is. It's impossible to get 100% accurate backtesting results because it depends on so many factors such as, slippage, brokers, servers, commissions. But they can give you a rough idea of what to expect. Okay, and you can see we can expect nice performance long term on the EU here. Okay, good amount of profit, high profit factor, very low drawdown, which is interesting. 84% win rate is fantastic. Be interesting to see if it will. That was a medium risk. Let's go high risk. So we'll do 5% risk. Okay, and let's just fire away with that. See if it holds up the performance. Keep it in mind as well, these results we're seeing are on one currency pair, as I just mentioned before. To reiterate, when you're trading multiple currency pairs, you do increase your the number of trades, so the potential profit will be greater, as will the potential drawdown. But you can see from these results, the drawdown is reasonable. This is perhaps one of the drawdown is reasonable depending on the lot or the risk size that you're using. But this, in terms of scalpers, is, in my many years of testing thousands of EAs, this is one of the best performing evening scalpers that I've come across. Okay. Of course, with scalpers, spreads, as I said, can make a difference. So if you do use a third-party software with real variable spreads, I think you can improve your testing results. Again, great upwards graph, held up well with a 5% risk. Very good amount of profit, and still a really low 3 to 4% drawdown there, which is fantastic. What does it do on the pound dollar? Let's give it a shot. Will it hold up with the medium risk, the higher risk, sorry, over the last 4 to 5 years? Let's find out. You can, of course, test this EA as much as you want. There is, as I said, a free trial available, link in description. In fact, this developer has a nice collection of expert advisors, some of the top rated on the MQR platform. Okay, they've been amongst the top rated for many years now, all backed by real verified MyFX book accounts, which is basically the best evidence you can get of a expert advisor performing well, real verified accounts. Okay. As well as backtests. The developer, I think, has backtests for all of them over 20+ years. We're running a backtest now. This is just over the last, as I said, 4 to 5 years, but I can already see the huge potential in this EA. I mean, we're getting into the hundreds of thousands profit off a 10K balance in less than 4 years here. Yeah, quite astonishing performance, really. Okay, so what, $500,000 off a 10K in a few years with 4 to 8% drawdowns, fantastic 89% win rate. Again, this is back testing, not a guarantee of what will happen moving forward. You make your own decisions. Okay, make sure you test, read reviews, check out the verified results. But yeah, it's looking good based on the EU and the GU currency pairs. The reason I'm focusing on these two is because they tend to have lower spreads. And as this is a night scalper, you're going to really want to be trading currency pairs or any trading instrument with low spreads. Okay, because we're scalping a few pips, so you know, the difference between 1 or 2 pips in spread can turn a scalping strategy from a winning to a losing one. However, it's also worth considering the commission as well, because that can eat into profit significantly. A disadvantage of the MT4 strategy tester is it doesn't include commissions, unless, as I said, using a third-party software. So do bear that in mind as well. Right. For those of you who don't really have the knowledge of the skills, you don't have to play around with the EA like we are now. You can just simply put it on your charts and change the risk/lot size to something you feel comfortable with. Okay. So you would just attach it to your chart and choose basically your, whether you want to use fixed lots or risk you want to use, and you can just leave everything else default. Okay, there are detailed instructions included that explain everything for you regardless. For those of you who want to experiment, absolutely loads of settings you can play around with, keep you busy for days, weeks, if not months. Testing, you can test different time frames if you want, different trading instruments. You might even be able to come up with something better than the developer. You know, you can, sometimes I like to leave optimizations running on a VPS. I might have an optimization running for days or weeks, just trying to find good settings. Just be careful not to over optimize. If you don't know what optimization is, I do have a video on it, but it's basically when you select some settings and test different variations of them. So if we check here, for example, allowed to buy and sell, okay, we can test these different values to see what the performance would be had they been different from each other. Had they been either buy and sell, buy only, or sell only, and you can combine them. So you can say, check that one. You can do, let's have a look. Do you want smart time filter, true or false? You can choose that. Okay, the trading hours. Which hour would you like to start trading? The days. Various other things that you can optimize. Do you want the swap filter on or off? Do you want the news filter on or off? Okay. So various things you can experiment with, stop loss, take profit, etc. Yeah, and that way you just choose the things that you'd like to optimize. Okay. So what else can we look for? Let's have a look for something. Let's just say, where was the start? So hour to start placing orders. Let's just put, we can start, let's just say 20, going up in ones, and we'll stop at 23. So this will test 20, 21, 22, and 23. Okay. Hour to stop trading. Let's just say start at 1, go up in 1, and stop at 6. Okay. Just we'll start at 0 for that. Just do some random settings here. And so the ones that we've checked are the ones that will be optimized. And then you click this optimization box, choose your time frame. We'll just do the past year because it'll be quicker. And then click start. And then basically what the strategy tester will do now is it will combine the various settings that we've selected to be optimized to see what the different combinations will produce, what results they'll produce. And that way you can find potential settings according to your own trading preferences, or as I said, you might want to just see if you can better the developer settings on the recommended pairs and timeframes, or just look for settings for other trading instruments and other timeframes and create your own strategy. One thing I would say is fantastic, the amount of inputs the developer has made fully customizable. Okay, it's not, it is just plug and play if you want it to be. But if you like testing for a hobby, or you just want to experiment, you can do so. So then, as we're running through the optimization results will come in here. Okay, no results have appeared yet, and that's probably because I've got skip useless results checked. And when you have that checked, any results that don't produce positive outcomes will not be placed here. Okay, so it'd be interesting to see if any of the combinations we selected do produce positive results. I could imagine this might take a while. I'm tempted to use open prices only testing just to speed things up. However, I'm not sure, as it's a scalping strategy, if this will actually benefit us, but we'll give it a try anyway. So open prices only testing. There we go. Finally, some results coming through. So basically, this is where the results of the optimization of all the settings that we selected, we'll see all the various different combinations. Okay, you can sort by profit, number of trades, profit factor, expected payoff on the drawdown, whether that's in monetary sense or percentage, according to what matters most to you. So if we address by profit, you can see, okay, this particular settings produce the best amount of profit. Just wait for this optimization to finish. As I said, you can run optimizations, overnight or in the weekend. On a VPS, I have multiple instances of the MT4 platform running on my VPS, running various tests at any given time. Okay, but this is just a bonus extra. You don't have to do this. The developer has, in theory, done all of the hard work for you with a verified MyFX book accounts to back them up, which you can see again in the link below. So we'll just wait for this optimization to finish. Okay, then we can just sort the results according to profit. That is the highest one. When you double click that, what will happen is those results will then be loaded into the inputs here. Okay. So the hour to stop trading was 4, I think, before, and it's come up 2 based on our optimization, and maybe some other settings have been changed that we selected. Buy and sell, still buy and sell. I think smart time filter. And what else did we test? Was the hour to start placing. Looks like that's the same. But to save those sets, you can just click save, give it a name, and then you can always load it at a later date, whether that's on your chart or in the strategy tester. Then you click start, and basically the EA will run the test with those settings there. Okay, so that's how to do an optimization. I do have a video going into that in more detail. Just be careful you don't over optimize as well. Sometimes you can, spend a long time trying to find ideal settings, but they're only ideal for that particular data set. Okay, in this instance, that would be the past year. It doesn't necessarily mean that they'd be the best results for the past 5 years, 10 years, 20 years. It can just sometimes be what's known as curve fitting, okay, where it's just basically randomly combining all the different settings until you find something good for that particular historical data set that you were using. Okay. However, I will say the fact that this expert advisor uses the same settings on multiple currency pairs, right, shows me that there is logic behind the trading strategy implemented within it. Okay. It's not just a random set file for each currency pair. That for me that gives me confidence, along with the 20+ year of historical testing that the developer provides and the verified MyFX book accounts, which they have for all their other expert advisors, all which you can get in the description below, and all which come with a free trial, which can be a great way to familiarize yourself with the EAs on a demo account before deciding if they are for you or not. Do appreciate you watching. Hopefully you've learned something about this particular EA, which, as I said, is one of my favorite scalping EAs. I think it's got a great range of features, shows consistent performance based on testing across multiple currency pairs. So give it a try, see how you get on, and let me know in the comments below if you perhaps you found some good settings other than those provided by the developer. If you have any feedback on the EA for others, that would be great. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe, and I hope to catch you on the next one. Take care.